has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the darkest dungeon. My name as ever is Runz, and I will say I fucking love this game. I've only got up to about week 12 or so, and the last one I was doing pretty well. But I'm all settled in with a delicious cup of tea ready for this. But I decided I was going to delete that campaign before I spoiled too much, because I wanted to start a fresh campaign with you guys. So here we are, we're going to start with the Runz estate. And like I say, it's a fantastic game. The animation in it is brilliant, the sound in it is brilliant, it's very, very simple. I haven't defeated any of the bosses yet. I had a fight against one of them. Like the first boss you come up against, but didn't manage to complete it, and at that point I thought, before I start spoiling too much, I will start again. Now shut up, like
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
So here we are, we're on the road to redemption. Can I redeem my family name by defeating the darkest dungeon? Now you start off with two heroes here, the Crusader and the Highwayman. And there is actually a special achievement if you manage to get these two all the way through the game. I have so far not managed to keep them both alive. Normally my Crusader I can keep alive relatively well, but the Highwayman, he tends to die pretty quick before I can get him upgraded and ready to go. So this is my chance, my path to redemption, and I'm going to try and keep these two guys very much alive throughout this campaign, and at least get them to the darkest dungeon, if not complete the game with the two of them. That's the plan. Now the trick here I have found is that quite often I don't plan out my upgrades to my hamlet, and we'll see that after we've done this path to redemption. Sorry, I clicked off of that. Need to click on.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Yes, those of you who don't know, you may be watching Darkest Dungeon for the first time. But basically, you move forward A and D, or you can use the mouse click, walk backwards and forwards like that.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion.
And we
all
engage.
may hear of your arrival.
We engage our first enemy. Combat is turn-based. On your heroes, click a skill icon and then click the highlighted target. You can only use certain skills if your characters are in certain positions. So, as you can see here, the little marker here, the yellow, basically you can have up to 4 in a party. He's in the second position. As you can see, this skill here, Open Vein, could be used if he's in the first, second or third position. And again, that's sort of mirrored on the enemies, so you can only attack the first or second bad guy. When it's linked up like this, Grape Shot Blast, that means it will hit all 3 of the enemies in that position. So it's you have to be aware of your positioning, and there are skills that will move your enemy about, which will allow you to move about, so you can swap positions if you want to. Normally what happens is, if you get surprised by the enemy, you might find your formation is ruined. But what we're going to do, we're going to Open Vein, and this applies a bleed, unless of course he resists it. You can see down here, the Brigand Cutthroat, all his resistances down the bottom. It tells you what is effective, what's not. He's got a 20% bleed resist. So let's see if we can cut him open. Yes! That's going to apply 2 damage for 3 rounds.
Mortality
clarified
in a single strike.
And a rather nasty fucking strike back. Just give me a debuff. So I think what I'm going to do with my Crusader, he's pretty damaged. I should just be able to smite and basically
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
And we get 500 gold. I will fucking take it. Thanks very much. And we keep moving on. Every so often you'll find interactive objects, which are normally called curio, and they will sometimes give you good things. And this is for Brigands 10. Sometimes you can put items in there which might give you better results. We don't have anything, but we do get another
Leave
300
nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
So I will take that.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Okay, so once again, we're up against 2 Brigands. Now this big guy here, resistant to stun, as you can see, and he's quite nasty. He's basically a sort of tank, and he takes up the first 2 slots. So if I was to do something like Grape Shot, I would actually be wasting one of the slots, because he would only take the damage for 1, but he absorbs 2 slots. And then you got the guy at the back. Similarly with Open Vein, if I click on that, I can only hit the big guy, which is not great. What I can do is maybe go for Pistol Shot and try and take out the Fusilier at the back, which I might actually try and do.
A devastating blow.
Oh, and a crit! Look at that. He's down to 1. The reason why I don't like this Fusilier is he does shots like that, which end up doing a lot of damage. What I think I'm going to do is... It's not worth stunning, not worth zealous accusation, so we're going to go for smite on the big guy. He's got reasonable... Oh, that's fuck. He's got reasonable damage resist. I think what we're going to try and go for is the pistol shot again.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
And we get rid of him. So that's one of the guys down. He's not looking too well. But we keep trying to smack the big guy. Whittle that health down. There's very little else we can do. Let's put a bleed on him, if we can. And basically this is just a battle of attrition. Oh, as you can see, that's quite a lot of damage going on that guy.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay, well we completed the quest, as you can see, and we can either continue adventuring, which I'm going to do because there's a chest there. And it's trapped. That is the darkest dungeon for you. But there weren't any other rooms to go. But we got a nice 5,000 gold out of that. Plus an extra 2,010. That's not bad. That's not bad. And they both hit level 1, which is alright. However, I got a negative trait. I'm not going to go through explain all this, but basically you can either get virtues or negative quirks and positive quirks at the end of missions, depending on what happens. Unfortunately, I got a negative quirk.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
So here we go, this is the hamlet. At the end of the week's activity it tells you what's happened, and here's your list of goals. We've got to complete our first foray into the ruins, defeat these bosses, apprentice necromancer, the hag, the siren, the swine prince, so on and so forth, and it goes all the way up. All the way up, and then you have to do your assaults on the darkest dungeon. And then obviously you have roster goals, get your people to level 6, etc, etc. And it's trying to guide you onto what you need to do, how you progress in the game. Like I say, the guys are here. That tells you get help, that's fine. Okay. And here's the things. Not everything is open to me. We have to complete more quests to unlock the abbey or to unlock the guild, so on. But here, you can see Ancestors' Memoirs.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
And there you go. That gives you the list, basically, of cinematics for each of the bits, and you can come back and watch that. This is the graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
And this is the stagecoach.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
And this is where we recruit new heroes. So we're going to take...
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
We're going to take these guys. A recruit. We have a Vestal, a Plague Doctor to go with our Crusader and our Coachman. Now we can also upgrade this, and upgrading gives you different things. You can get experienced recruits. This is a new addition with the latest patch. To try and take some of the grind out if you lose one of your high level parties. You can increase the size of your barracks, you can increase your stagecoach network, and I'm going to do both of those.
Word is traveling. Ambition is stirring in distant cities. We can use this.
because basically you're going to get through a lot of heroes. Now, if you have a look at your character, a Crusader here, you've got the list of different skills that he has available. These are camping skills, and you tend to do camping on larger dungeons. And here's your quirks. So, Warrior of Light is my positive virtue. I do plus 10% damage if your torch is over 75. But I'm God-fearing. I will only pray for stress relief. Kleptomania, prone to stealing items, and misses for spot, which is a pain in the arse. Kleptomania is particularly annoying. Now, as you can see, this kind of list, all these markers under the name, that's your stress. And if you reach 100 stress, you fill this bar up once, you get a negative quirk. Or your resolve is tested, and you normally get a negative quirk. But sometimes you'll get a positive one. If you fill it up again to 200, then basically your character has a heart attack from the stress and he dies. So that's not good. To relieve stress in your hamlet, you have the tavern, which is locked at the minute, and the abbey. And like I said, unfortunately, Reynald, or as we should now call him, the illustrious hero, Runz, he's God-fearing, so he's only going to pray for stress relief. We have Dismas, or as he shall now be known, Carl. He's a known cheat, so he's not allowed to gamble to release his stress, but he does have various other quirks such as stun resist, so on and so forth. And then Campion, flawed release, minus 3% critical on range skill, but he is a beast slayer, so he gets bonuses fighting beasts. And that will be Mr. Moldy. And then finally, a manic for money, Plutomania, but hard-skinned. This is our Vestal, who's kind of our healer character. She prefers positions at the back. And this will be Tally. So there we go. That's our motley crew of adventurers. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't want to dwell too much on the mechanics because it can become quite overwhelming. And a lot of it is best learnt whilst playing, whilst watching, seeing what's going on. So I'm going to leave this episode here. Guys, please feel free to rate, comment and subscribe. And I will see you next time for our first foray into the ruins of our noble house, opulent and imperial.